just wanted to jump on here, give you an update about the coronavirus in Cleveland, Ohio. So we've been receiving a lot of questions about the coronavirus and the impact that it has on the real estate market here in Cleveland. So I just want to give you a little bit more information about it, tell you exactly what's going on in the market so that you can have the information and make an informed decision. So we are still actively buying or helping clients buy and sell in the market. In Ohio, real estate is considered an essential business, so we are helping buyers move in, sellers move out, and complete the transaction from beginning to end. In many cases, the point of sales are still happening, the appraisals are still happening, and the home inspections are still happening. Now, I won't say that this is just business as usual because it's not, but we are seeing this through and we're able to get it done for you. Some of the cities, they have decided to either hold off on doing the city point of sale inspection, which is a lifesaver. Honestly, I wish that they would just get rid of them altogether, but they're still there. So for the cities that have decided to hold off on it, it makes life a lot easier because that's just one less thing or delay that we don't have to worry about. But for the cities that are still completed in the point of sale inspection, it may take a little bit longer for them to get out to the property, or they have decided to push it to the back end of the transaction. So it is what it is. We just deal with that as it comes. So as you know, springtime marks the beginning of the home buying season. So unfortunately, we are seeing that overall the market is about 24% down from where it normally is or in comparison to last year. So we are in hopes that we will start to see an increase on this, but unfortunately with the current stay-at-home order until May 1st, we may see that number start to drop a little bit more. With the stay-at-home order in place, that means people aren't able to go to work and their priority becomes more survival at that point. So we may even see a decrease in mortgages being paid, and because we've already started to see this on the rental side. So when you're in survival mode for many families, we want to make sure that we put food on the table first, and then everything else from there comes second. So I want to talk about if it's a good time to buy. People still wonder if it's a good time to buy. Well, interest rates are still at an all-time low. The 30-year fixed rate right now is at about 3.84%, and the 15-year is at 3.33%. This is extremely good, right? If you are a homeowner and you're not even thinking about buying a home, you want to also call your mortgage company and talk about refinancing your home. This is the perfect time. Many of us are looking for ways to either cut back or save money, and refinancing your home is one way that you can put more money in your pocket. So you don't have to go with the mortgage company that you are currently with. You want to reach out, kind of shop around and see what these mortgage companies can do for you. So in terms of the market overall, so it's more so the higher end housing market is starting to see more of a hit than the middle to the lower end. The luxury market, I mean, a lot of times it's these higher end, maybe executives, they just decided to hold off before making any decisions. So that market is starting to stall out a little bit. Hopefully this is not an indication of what's to come on the lower end markets, but for right now, that middle market and the lower end market, we're still heavily seeing activity in there. So prior to Corona and all of this happening, we had a inventory shortage, and it was really nice for sellers actually, because we were starting to see owners having to building more equity in their properties because there was such a demand on the buyer side of it, and there was not enough inventory from the sellers. In many cases, these homes were having multiple offers on the property, And buyers were starting to get upset because they were losing out on these homes. So it's a dream situation for sellers, but it became a nightmare situation for many buyers. If you are one of those buyers that were out there looking and you were having a hard time, you may have wrote multiple offers on different properties and you were starting to get discouraged, I would say to you, this is not the time to call it quits. There's still a number of sellers who still need to sell their homes. But then you have a whole pool of buyers who were planning to buy that may be unemployed right now. So they're not looking at houses. If you are still in a position, you still have your job and you can still look, I say you need to get out there right away and start looking for that home. You may get an even better deal than what you were looking at beforehand. One of the things that I will say to buyers, if you have not been in communication with your loan officer in some time, you had your pre-approval, maybe that pre-approval is now 30, 60, approaching 90 days old. You want to get in contact with your loan officer because a lot of these loan products have since changed. When the coronavirus hit, a lot of the investors on the back end on that secondary market had changed their loan programs, or programs had started to stall out. So reach out to your loan officer who gave you that initial pre-approval. Talk to them, ask them if you're still in good standing. They may even need to rerun your credit just to make sure that your credit didn't drop and you can meet those current requirements. This is so important. I am seeing some buyers who were trying to take advantage of maybe even a down payment assistance program. Some of the down payment assistance program have also changed their requirements. Some of the programming is just after they just kind of put it on hold or paused it, or increased the requirements for it for like the next 30 days or so. And the reason why I'm guessing is because they want to make sure they know that a lot of job situations are unstable right now. So they don't want to just give out loans, give out funding, and go ahead and push through the loan for you to close, and then it come into an immediate situation where you can't pay your mortgage because now you're unemployed. So this is very important, and maybe even talk to your employer to see where things are at, to make sure to see how secure your job is. But definitely make a call to your loan officers, check on your lender, check on your file to make sure that things are still good with that. So with the new stay-at-home order being pushed out now to May 1st, I definitely think that it's going to have a greater impact on the real estate market. I'm not seeing that we're going to exactly be going into a recession right now. It's all going to boil down to what the government decides to do and how much help that they want or decide to give to homeowners at the end of this. There are going to be a ton of homeowners who are going to need some relief to make mortgage payments. I am seeing a lot of mortgage companies who are now already putting information out there to have a forbearance completed on your payment. So with that forbearance, it just stalls out your payment. It just stops it for up to a period of about 90 days. The thing about that forbearance you want to be mindful of is when that 90 days is up, they're going to expect for you to make a lump sum payment, almost like a balloon payment at that point. If you aren't saving or you're still not working, that may be hard to do. At that point, you may be able to roll into some kind of modification to modify the payments. They may make you put like a down payment and then a trial period until, and then once that trial period is up, you go into a new payment arrangement. So you want to make sure that you're remaining in contact with your mortgage company. Send them the paperwork, update your file, do everything that you need to do if you're in a situation of where you may be in default. Lastly, If you are a potential buyer in the marketplace and you're wondering like, well, how am I going to see these properties? Well, here at Brick House Realty, we operate as a virtual company, so we have everything covered for you. We can tour the properties for you. Well, first it starts with, we will send you the potential properties electronically if you see something you like, or we will help pick out those properties for you. We can tour these properties and do video for you. We can use services like FaceTime or Zoom meetings so you can see the property for yourself at that moment. If it's something that you want to see and get your eye on, we can definitely schedule to take another look at the property. If you're still not feeling comfortable with going out to look at the property, don't forget you are going to have a home inspection done, and that home inspector is going to check the roof all the way to the basement for you to make sure everything is sound and in good standing. That report is then sent over to you electronically. If you decide to write a contract on the property, everything is done electronically. You sign your documents electronically. We can even collect your earnest money from you electronically as well. If you have any other concerns or any other questions, you can give us a call. We would love to speak with you, explain a little bit more about what's going on here in the Cleveland housing market. We look forward to speaking with you.